Hi everybody, my name is ALEXIS CONOLLY. This is my first ever time here and I'm very anxious, very nervous. I didn't sleep too well either. Mine will be short and sweet. I've not actually written anything out, so this will just be from my heart and just to basically really bring me out of my comfort zone, which is good for me. I'm so very happy and very honoured to be here, and I have my wonderful friend who I can see there, Phyllis Edwards, who we have been wonderful, firm friends for 4 years this year. She's my biggest supporter, and without her, I wouldn't be here. So that being said, and just before I start, and because I might forget, I want to thank Tom and Trisha for hosting this. I can't get my head around it. It's so wonderful and so fantastic that people who stammer can get together. So thank you. I'm so nervous. Right, I'm just going to speak a little bit about my stammering journey from where it began and to where I am today. So I began to stammer from about the age of 3. I used to be smacked and I used to be shouted at for stammering, which obviously made my stammer much worse, and I really didn't like to talk very much. My dad, he hated it. He hated it, and he tried to smack it out of me, but that didn't work. So I struggled on, and I had NHS speech therapy when I was about 10 years old. And I'm going back to 1973, and I don't think stammering, they knew that much about why we stammered or even how to help us. So that didn't really help. My teenage years were very difficult. I could hardly put 2 words together. It was really it was very much out of control. I had a bit more speech therapy when I was about 20, in my 20s, but that didn't really help either, because speech therapy hadn't really gone any further than it had back in 1973. So I struggled on. I struggled on through my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, and early into my 50s also. I find speaking to people in authority, that really brings my stammer out, because it probably takes me back to my childhood. So I've gone on years now to 2018. I was getting married in 2018, and I was very concerned about how I was going to say my marriage vows. And by chance and by accident, I found the BSA, the British Stammering Association, which I had never heard of. So I joined that, and that is where I met Phyllis Edwards, who answered my question about how I was going to say my marriage vows in front of everybody. So that's where I first met Phyllis, and in the same year we both attended the Cardiff BSA Cardiff conference for stammering. And Phyllis and her husband, they flew over from New Zealand. I'm so anxious. So we both booked into the same hotel so we could spend some time together. So we've been friends since then, and Phyllis helped me overcome my fear of Skype. My stammer was so bad that I wouldn't pick up the phone. I wouldn't speak to anybody on the phone. There's no way I would Skype or speak to other people. My confidence and my stammer was I found very, very difficult. And I have to say, Rich, who spoke before me, I really enjoyed listening to him, as I could really empathise with a lot of what he said. My stammer, I hated it. It made me feel very flawed and very ugly, and it always made me feel not as good as everybody else. So through Phyllis's persuasion, she persuaded me to Skype her. So we've been Skyping every week for probably a year, 2 years. So now, yeah, I owe Phyllis a lot. I joined, and I was asked to join an online stammering group called Stand Up to Stammering. I can see the head of Stand Up to Stammering support group is a man on here called Michael Wright, and he is another person that changed the course of my stammering journey. He invited me to join the group, which I did, and then he invited me to become a moderator. I hate ends. So on this group, we do weekly, daily challenges, and we make videos asking questions, and people answer these questions, and they either make videos or they write their comments out. And it was through Michael Wright that I heard about the Starfish project. It's a speech therapy over here, and Michael asked if I would like to go on it, which I did. I did my first course last year in 2021, and I'll be going on my third course this year, and going on that course changed everything also. I was, for the first time ever, able to control my Stammer. So I was 58 years old when I went on my first speech therapy course, which goes to show it's never too old to learn. I also know that there are some people or some stammerers who are happy to stammer, but I was just one of those stammerers that always wanted to learn how to control, because my stammer was so bad. And I think my dad, it goes back to my dad, because I hated it. He hated it so much that I wanted to be fluent, so that he would be proud of who I was, even though I had a stammer. My dad actually died when I was 25, and I never heard him say that he was proud of me, because in my heart, to him, in his eyes, I was just this flawed child that he had. So I hope today he'll look down on me and that he would be proud of the person that I became. I'm also part of a support group here in my hometown of Coventry, and I want to say a big thank you to the girl who created Coventry Stammerers. She is such an inspiration to me too, and her name is Bupinda Purewell, and I'm an active member of the Coventry Stammers Coffee and Chat support group with her. And I just now want to support and help other people who stammer, whether they want to learn how to control or whether they want to be able to stammer with confidence. For me, I've wanted to learn how to control, but by gaining that small control that I have, I now have the confidence to be able to talk. If sometimes I can't control it, then I am also a confident stammerer. I wouldn't go into pubs, I wouldn't talk on the phone, I wouldn't order my own food, I'd only eat what I could ask for, and like everybody else, it ruled my entire life. I didn't go to college, I didn't go to university because I had no confidence, but I'm in a very nice, lovely job that I love. Today, I work for the NHS. I started there 25 years ago as a cleaner, so I could work on my own and work around my children were small back then, so that's how I started off, cleaning toilets and floors. But I worked my way up, and the NHS have been very good to me and very supportive and put me on training courses. So now I'm a radiology assistant practitioner, and I work with surgeons and doctors in these surgeries, and I'm also on call too for emergencies, for any type of emergencies. So I have the NHS. The NHS saw something I had that I never thought I had. I thought I was only good enough to be a a cleaner because my confidence was not very high at all. But I'm in the job I really love, and I look round when I'm in theatres and I see these clever doctors and consultants and all the surgeons, I think, how did I get here? So I am really, really proud of myself. So through my stammering journey, I have met some wonderful, supportive people, and I know we'll be friends forever. And I've come to this age now where my biggest goal and the biggest thing I want to do is to inspire the young person who are finding it difficult at this time. My speech and my stammer was so bad, and I want them to know that no matter how bad your stammer is, whatever you set your heart onto, whether that be a nurse or a doctor or lawyer or whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you want to do. And I just want you to look at me and say, well, if she's got to where she wants to be through having an uncontrollably bad stammer that she had, I can also do what I want to do as well.